Welcome to Forgotten Men of History. Throughout history, many men have been forgotten or underestimated for their essential contributions to society. Among these men are soldiers and war victims, as well as workers in dangerous trades, whose courage and dedication have played a crucial role in the development and preservation of our societies. Soldiers who fought on the battlefields, often in extremely difficult conditions, sacrificed their lives to defend their country, their families, and their ideals. Their acts of bravery during major conflicts such as World War II were essential in ensuring freedom and democracy worldwide. Iconic battles like Stalingrad, Normandy, and many others resulted in a heavy toll in human lives but also demonstrated the unwavering courage and determination of these men in the face of adversity. In parallel, workers in hazardous trades, often from modest backgrounds, played a vital role in the construction and modernization of our societies. Their work in perilous conditions, such as during the construction of railroads in the United States in the 19th century, laid the groundwork for industrialization and economic progress. Unfortunately, these men often paid a heavy price in terms of lives lost or serious injuries, without always receiving the recognition and respect they deserved for their crucial contribution to societal growth and development. It is important to remember these forgotten men of history and acknowledge their sacrifice and dedication to ideals greater than themselves. Their legacy should be preserved and honored so that we can fully appreciate the efforts and sacrifices made by those who helped shape the world we live in today. Masculinity and social expectations. The concept of masculinity and the social expectations surrounding it have evolved over time, but some rigid norms persist, influencing how men interact with the world around them. Throughout history, masculinity has often been associated with traits such as strength, resilience, and the ability to endure pain without complaint, creating significant social pressures on men to meet these standards. This rigid norm of masculinity has had profound consequences on men's mental and emotional health, sometimes preventing them from seeking the help they needed and isolating them in their pain. Rates of suicide, depression, and other mental health issues were often higher among men struggling to meet these oppressive social expectations, underscoring the importance of challenging these harmful norms and fostering more authentic expressions of masculinity that include vulnerability, empathy, and mutual support. Take, for example, the Great Depression in the 20th century. During that period, many men faced major economic hardships due to the financial crisis, losing their jobs, homes, and dignity. Despite these challenges, the social pressure to remain strong and stoic often prevented these men from seeking help or showing their vulnerability. The fear of being perceived as weak or unable to provide for their families led them to keep their suffering to themselves, contributing to a culture of silence and hidden suffering among many men of that era. By recognizing and challenging traditional stereotypes of masculinity, we can encourage men to feel free to fully express their emotions, seek help when needed, and establish more authentic and egalitarian relationships with others. This will help promote the well-being and mental health of men, as well as create a more inclusive and compassionate society for all its members, regardless of gender. The unsung inventors and thinkers. Throughout history, many men have made significant contributions to science, technology, and culture but have not received the recognition they deserved. These innovators were often pioneers in their respective fields, laying the groundwork for major discoveries that have shaped our modern world. Yet, despite their extraordinary achievements, these men have often remained in the shadows of their more famous contemporaries. Take, for example, Alan Turing, a British mathematician and cryptographer whose work during World War II was crucial in decrypting German codes and contributing to the Allied victory. Turing also laid the foundations of modern computing by developing the concept of the Turing machine, a precursor to today's computers. Unfortunately, due to his sexuality, Turing was persecuted and ostracized by the society of the time, and his contribution to the history of computing was not fully recognized until decades later. Another example is Nikola Tesla, a visionary inventor and engineer whose work laid the groundwork for many aspects of our modern life, such as alternating current electricity, radio, and wireless technologies. Yet, Tesla was often overshadowed by his contemporary Thomas Edison, whose work received greater media attention at the time. Despite his revolutionary contributions, Tesla fell into obscurity in history for many years before being recognized for his genius and lasting impact on modern technology. These examples highlight the importance of recognizing and celebrating the contributions of unsung inventors and thinkers whose innovative ideas paved the way for major advancements in various fields. By shedding light on their work and honoring their legacy, we can enrich our understanding of history, inspire future generations of innovators, and encourage a culture of recognition and appreciation for all those who contribute to the progress of humanity. The unsung figures in arts and literature. In the realm of arts and literature, unsung figures often represent artists, writers, and composers whose creative genius did not receive the recognition they deserved during their lifetime, or whose work has been forgotten over time. These talented creators have significantly contributed to the enrichment of global culture, but their names and works are not always associated with the great names in art and literary history. At times, these unsung figures have been marginalized due to their gender, ethnic background, sexual orientation, or social status. Their access to artistic and literary institutions may have been hindered by systemic barriers, relegating them to the background of the cultural scene. However, despite these obstacles, they continue to create with passion and determination, leaving behind a precious artistic legacy that deserves to be rediscovered and celebrated. By shedding light on these unsung figures, we can not only do justice to their talent and contribution but also enrich our understanding of art and literary history by discovering perspectives and voices that are often overlooked. By recognizing and celebrating the diversity of creators who have shaped our cultural heritage, we broaden our horizons and cultivate a deeper appreciation for the richness and complexity of the human experience through art and literature. Pioneers of social justice and human rights. Among the forgotten men of history are those who have been true pioneers of social justice and human rights. These individuals have dedicated their lives to fighting for equality, human dignity, and fundamental rights, often at the cost of persecution, imprisonment, and even their lives. Their courageous actions and unwavering commitment have contributed to shaping more just, inclusive, and equitable societies, but unfortunately, their legacy is sometimes overlooked or underestimated. These activists, human rights defenders, and political visionaries have often been ahead of their time, identifying injustices and societal inequalities long before they became top priorities for the general public. Their work laid the foundation for social movements and legislative changes that have helped progress towards greater recognition and protection of human rights worldwide. It is essential to preserve the memory of these pioneers of social justice and human rights, not only to pay tribute to their courage and dedication but also to inspire us in our own struggle for a fairer and more equitable world. Their stories and sacrifices remind us that social change is possible, even in the face of overwhelming adversity, and that each of us has the power to make a difference by standing up for justice and dignity for all human beings. Reassessing and honoring men's contribution. It is essential to reassess and honor the contribution of men throughout history by recognizing their sacrifices, celebrating their achievements, and providing a space to share their often untold stories. By paying tribute to these forgotten men, we can enrich our collective understanding of the past, promote empathy and compassion, and build a more inclusive and respectful future for all. By fully acknowledging the diversity of experiences and contributions of men in society, we can create a world where everyone is valued and respected for what they bring to our common community. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my latest video. Your support truly means a lot to me. If you enjoyed the video, I would greatly appreciate it if you could share it with your friends and family. Every share helps spread the word and allows me to keep creating content that you love. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you won't miss any of my future videos. Your continued support and engagement are what keep me going. Once again, thank you for watching and for being such an incredible community.